Happy week after disclosure or something like that.
Something
I think
like that.
something close to a week, right? Last
Yeah.
Friday. Welcome everybody. It is Wild and Weird Radio Live, and tonight we're going to be dealing with some fallout from this whole mess and talking about some things that people didn't talk about that were actually there that probably should be. But before we do all that, oh yeah, they are very important, Joe. But before we do all that, Joseph, why don't you start welcoming these folks in and let's get a head count.
Yeah, it's an off night, so guys, don't stress it. Don't worry. We're gonna be hanging out and having a good time. We've got Gary Schuler in the house. Jordan Booker is here as well. Hope you're having fun with your family out there, guys. Hope all of you guys are enjoying this time and getting a chance to just chill out and relax a little bit. Jen, what's going on? Then we got Brenda Ratliff. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving right back at you. Ada Cox is in the house. How are you doing, Ada? And we got Octopus is here. What's going on? Oz, Spooky, what's up? Nancy, how you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. It is cold out there tonight, by the way.
It's cold.
We are having a seasonal year this year is what it seems.
Yeah.
I guess it's traditional temperatures for this time of year.
Yep.
We've got Rob Posey. Who else we got dropping in here last minute? I think that covers everybody. That's in the chat. Like the folks who are actually talking in the chat. That's everybody. And then we got a few stragglers probably watching on TV or watching driving down the road en route to wherever they're going.
Welcome TV folk. Welcome everybody actually. So big news for us over here, especially. I told you we are on our way to 3,000. We're going to hit it by the end of the year. We're only 50 away, folks.
I know.
Providing that we don't drive anyone away tonight out of absolute I don't know. We might have some men in black who are out there that are just not going to like. They're not going to like what we say. The men in black are probably not going to deal with it, so we might lose them. But the rest of you are probably going to be good. We had an incredible weekend, by the way. Let's touch on that before we get into any kind of news or anything like that. And some of you folks, we may have just met. Literally, I hope you're here. If you are, say hey. It was fun to get out there and talk to these people and call it a year.
Yeah, because for us, CryptidCon is the last show of the year, right? It's the big grand hurrah to wrap up our season of being on the road. Now, we might pop up here and there doing some investigations, but for the most part, this wraps us up. We're able to go into prep mode for next year, and normally we take about 2 months off and we just focus on the show here and we focus on some other things that we're doing, but we try to ignore the road life for a minute. And it's always really, really nice. Central Kentucky Bigfoot, good seeing you. It's always good to wrap up on a high note, and CryptidCon is just that.
Sure was.
We have an absolute ball every year. It's such a good time. This year we brought along Rowan.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good time. He enjoyed seeing everybody, and we got to spend Wild Bill's birthday with him.
That's right. We did get to spend some time with old Bill. Most people don't have a clue about this, but because we don't post pictures.
Yeah, we don't advertise it.
We don't advertise it. Bill hangs out with us from time to time, but he's just a really cool guy. He's always been a friend since we pretty much first met. And
about 5 years, 4 or 5 years, right?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
And I always like to tell the story about when I first saw Bill. I was like, that's the craziest person I've ever seen. He's insane. And then you get to meet the guy and talk to him. It's just like, nope, He's actually not. He's Bill, and he's just the most amazing person. Just a nice person. There's not many.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he literally is a kind of take your shirt off your back kind of guy,
I would say
and
that,
give it to the next guy down that needs it. And he loves just having a good time and being wild, and he's good at it.
He really is. He really is. And when
Um,
when he gets to know you, he drops that little, But I'll be honest with you, he ain't acting.
no,
He's
it's
not
not. That's
acting.
Bill.
That's Bill. And Bill's, like I said, that's Bill. That's Bill.
Yep.
That's
There's
not.
all that's at the Crack Shack there.
Yeah.
We went to Cracker Barrel for his birthday, and had a good time.
Folks who were there, you got to see our presentation. Thank you very much for coming down. We had a pretty nice little house there. It was very well received. Folks enjoyed it. I got a little clip for it. We'll play later. Little clip. And I'm thinking we're gonna, for the first time, just because it is about disclosure, I think for the first time ever, we're going to try to, I'm going to try to edit this thing down, and we're going to try to put it up here for everybody to watch. And I don't know how to do it yet, but I want to make it to where we can kind of talk about it as we're watching it. And I know that we can do like a thing where at the end, it'll go to one of these, like a live or something. So I'm going to look into that. Maybe we can do something like that, because, after I cut it down, it's going to be about a 40-minute thing, and I think it'll be kind of fun to do. If you guys are interested in it, we can get on that. In the meantime, still working over there on Strange Realities. And
Yep.
That's, by the way, once we get that thing up and running.
So we had a ball. We had a great time this past weekend. Thanks for everybody that stopped by. We appreciated it. We went up about 30 subscribers.
We did,
which is a big deal. That's great for the size show it was. That was good because and I'm saying that CryptidCon's a big show. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people are like, you only got 30 subscribers. Well, the problem at CryptidCon is the majority of the people that come to CryptidCon are already
subscribed.
They're already,
yeah,
and they've had it for a while. Yeah, and Kentucky has always been like our home away from home.
That one right there. Yeah. Yeah, they followed us from day one. A lot of those folks out there,
reptile shows.
And we did have some fun. We got to meet those people, and they were pretty cool people. By the way, they were very cool people. Don't let Dragon fool you. He's not really like that. He's
nice.
He's just being Dragon there. It's he's totally in character right there. But yeah, I mean, I can see, dude. Dude's a good security guard. I'll tell you that. I mean, if he wants to do it, he can be that way.
If he wants to turn it on, he can turn it on.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He's a very multi-talented individual, and he knows how to really have fun at these things. It was really great seeing him and Thomas again. So that was cool. Speaking of which, there was another thing that we did in regards to that. And let me see if I can find a picture for you. I got it here somewhere. Let's see. It's at radio. It's amazing. The stuff's almost actually in order where I can find stuff now. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Let's see. Use. Yeah, here it is. See if I can upload this thing real quick.
Oh yes, yeah, Trackway's in the house. Long time no see.
Here it is. We got to give him a little gift. We gave him this.
Yeah.
And
that was a good one. You got creative.
Yeah, they really enjoyed it. So what we're going to do though is I think that's going to be in the gift bag. I got another one. See? Oh, it's trying to blue screen out on me, but you see it. I've got another one of these. Now here's the kicker. There's only 1, 2, 3. They got 2 and I sent 1 to Brandon. So that's 3. And then there's this one. And there won't be any more than 5 of these made. There's 6. I'm sorry. There'll be 1 for my tree and 1 for Joe. There's only 6 of these ever made. And that's not AI. That's my art on here, by the way. Just to let you know. this is we're going to throw that in to the giveaway when we hit the 3,000. So somebody who wins that's going to be in your gift bag. So we're going to throw that in there just for the hex of it. It'll be fun. But that way you've got something really, really special and one of a kind and commemorative right there. We'll work out the deals on that too and how that's all going to work. But I'm thinking how it's going to work is once we get that 3,000, we're going to have a special show. And then whoever's here, who subscribed, you've got to be subscribed. So whoever subscribed is going to be entered into that. And I also noticed, Joe, that you've got to be subscribed for like a week or something before you can comment on here now. I didn't notice that.
That's only in the lives.
Is that only in live? Okay.
It's only in the lives. You can even comment still without being subscribed under the main footer, but like you have to be subscribed to hit our lives.
Okay.
It's one way that they kind of keep the spam bots from jumping in and like flooding feeds. That was their remedy for that.
Okay. Well, it's not a bad idea, honestly. I mean, we've seen the turmoil that can cause over on our other pages. So yeah.
Well, we had it here before in the past.
That's right. Yeah. You've had to do a few ban hammers.
And but now this is supposed to fix a lot.
I like it. Well, folks, I'll tell you what else we're going to fix. Let's fix this background because, it is officially, baby, it is officially the holiday season. Am I wrong or right?
Boy, that's right.
It's time to do this thing. So let's switch up their background, make it official. There we go, folks. It's that time of year again.
Wild and weird Christmas.
Yeah, we're gonna have we'll have our lights up here as we go. It'll change. It's gonna be kind of like a Fortnite thing. Every week it'll get a little more holiday around here.
A little more festive.
Get a little more festive for you. Thank you, Noah, very much.
Appreciate it.
Very much, yes. And I'm glad you guys can join us on this off night. Like I said, we'll be back to Thursday next week. Don't worry, it's gonna be
we'll be normal schedule next week. This was just because the holidays and we were all traveling, moving around everywhere, and it had just been kind of a weird show because everybody would be gone.
It would be right. We'd be sitting here talking to ourselves. Everybody else would be passed out, where they've been eating so much turkey. I didn't eat a lot of turkey. I had Maria's famous meatloaf, which is just otherworldly. It's absolutely otherworldly. One of my favorite things. We did a little untraditional thing there, and every now and again we do that. Now I think it's your fault. You started that.
It's something my family's done, and then this year they brought it back, but they did it today instead.
Did they?
They still did the turkey yesterday, but today everybody got together and had the big Italian meal and made homemade gnocchi, and then cooked them and made sauce and meatballs.
Oh man, they were asking me what gnocchi was today, and I was explaining it, and it was just like, it's hard to explain, right? I mean, because it doesn't sound like it tastes that good, but it tastes that good. It's just, me when potatoes, I mean, most people don't know this. You do, obviously. I think potatoes are something from the devil, but they grow underground. So there's that. But I don't like potatoes. This is how it is. And if you get me to eat a potato, then it's a really good potato. And you can make good potatoes, and Roger can make good potatoes. That's who can make good potatoes.
But gnocchi's different. Potato noodles are different because you're adding more. It's just you're starting. You're not doing the typical mashed potato sort of stuff. You're just boiling your potatoes down, turning them into dough, and then turning them into pasta.
Yeah, it's pasta, and it's amazing. You just don't know you're eating potatoes. So, it's kind of like it's mind control.
Spooky was in the same vein with you yesterday, and his mom made meatloaf as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And Ada said, "Hey Joe, don't forget the log." And you're all going to figure out what that means probably next week, or I'd say we're a little early, so we're not going to do that right now.
Here's the thing: the first week, which might be next week. Is next week the first week of December show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm actually going to give away a log next week on the show, and I'm making it. It will be the one you see here, and we will give it away. It will only be. This is going to be a giveaway that is exclusive to the chat.
Okay.
So you have to be in the chat as you come in. We greet you. I'm going to put your name into a thing, a random name generator, and we will do the spin, and whoever gets it toward probably about half an hour towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
Half an hour from closing, we'll do the giveaway, and somebody is going to get a very special log.
Oh man. And the people out there who have no idea what he's talking about, just go back and watch last year's holiday special. You'll understand. On the year before that, there's a theme.
There is.
And you'll get to see it. You'll understand soon. Don't worry.
Thank you, Lisa.
Keeping the heat on.
Keeping the heat on. Oh man, you're talking about that. I had to turn the heater on in the basement because it got down to 63 degrees in the basement. And so I had to crank the heat up and got it back up a little bit.
Let me see, before you do the blessing, let me see if I can find the proper one for this.
Yeah. Because we got 3 of them sitting in there. So we can do one blessing to cover the 3.
Let me see if I can find that
Spooky,
special.
Bring out the log.
That's what I'm looking for. Just hang on, y'all. Gosh, you're all, man, we've been doing this too long. Yeah. All right, let's see. We've created holiday traditions now, Jeff.
I was planning on, I had them cut, so like it's almost ready, but I didn't quite finish them. I was actually planning on taking 3 or 4 to CryptidCon. And so I had the actual main portion of the body cut.
Yeah.
And I just didn't get a chance to make the legs for it.
Oh my gosh.
So
many disappointed people out there.
I know. That's why I didn't announce it.
So many disappointed people. And it's a good thing you didn't. Okay, let's see if I can find him. Intros. That's intros.
Well, see, right there. I already did it. The only thing I have to do is I have to go cut limbs for legs. And I've got a tree that I'm gonna
I think that's him.
My neighbor cut a limb down, and I'm gonna use portions of that limb to make it. Trackway, thank you. Much appreciated.
Oh my goodness, I don't see him. I'm going to have to find him for us for next week, guys. I don't see him in the folder. I probably
Nancy, thank you. So we're up to 5. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to throw you guys some blessings out there.
Yeah, throw some out there. We'll get the other one up next week for you guys. I promise.
Sounds good.
Where could he have gone? That's the better question.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
And then one to round him out.
That works. And I will find our traditional one for next week. And
that's what he's looking for there, Jimothy. He's trying to find he made one last year, and it's fantastic.
Yep, it's there. I just got to find it for us. We'll have it next week when we kick off the actual holiday shows. Like I said, we'll have more stuff coming in. This is just the beginning. We wanted to get it started and get everybody festive, get everybody in a great mood this year. And that's what our goal is. Our goal is to have fun this year. Don't care what's happening anywhere else. We're gonna have fun right here, and that's what it's for.
Log is my friend.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it came through just a minute ago. We got a Team Big Rock request, so here it comes, folks. I think
Big Rock. Really?
I think Big Rock's gone.
Is it not there either?
Yeah, Big Rock's gone.
Oh, how unfortunate.
So Big Rock's gone. So instead, here you go. We're gonna take care of you. Thank you guys. Gary.
Oh, fantastic, you guys. Well, like I said, we'll get some of our old classics back together and put them where we can find them easily. Because these things get moved around in here a lot for some reason. I don't know.
It's when you're loading in the media assets,
we can only have so many
Yep.
gigs right now because of the plan we're paying for. So
Yeah,
that's just how it is. And so we have to delete some and put the others back in. And then I forget where I put the originals, and it's fun trying to find that stuff. But we'll get them loaded up for you next week. No, we didn't lose it. It's just misplaced in about
it's still on the main computer. It's just not
probably
in the StreamYard bank.
Yeah, it's hiding over here in about I don't know, 30 terabytes worth of space. It could be anywhere, honestly.
Well, speaking of
space
and all the craziness.
Okay, let's go
last
there.
Friday,
Yep,
the film was released.
Yep,
The
let's
Age
get there.
of Disclosure.
Yep, that's what it was.
Has anybody in the audience rented it? Now, I have not.
I haven't.
My plan was to rent it Sunday till I saw that the rental price was $19.
It is. I mean, I get why. It's over a 2-hour film, and you got to pay for that stuff. Totally get it. But
no. But the purchase price is only $1 more.
Right. That's what I was saying.
That's the thing. Like if you're gonna, the rental price needs to be this. If it was around 15, I'd have probably jumped on it. But $20, because after they add tax and everything, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait because I don't want to.
Well, I'd already, my disclosure fee this month went to the book because we're going to do the special on this.
I got the books and then got. Speaking of that book, hold that back up.
Yeah, can do.
Because folks, we told you last week we are going to give you guys a essentially like a wild and weird book club, but we're not going to give you everything, but we're going to go through some of the information in this book, and at the end of that episode we're going to send one of you a copy.
Yep, sure are. Because that's kind of stuff that like Lisa just helped pay for right over there, right? So that's how we do this stuff. But yeah, we're going to give it back to you, and somebody's going to win a book. It's going to be fun though.
Oz, yes, we do one of those every year. That is our year in review, where we go over the previous year's stuff and then talk about the future and where we're headed.
The future out there. Apparently,
so that'll be New Year's or New Year's episode.
Yep, that's what it is, and that's now we've learned that time and space are irrelevant, so we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, let's hit this thing running because here's the thing. I saw that Greer's not happy again.
Yep.
Just gonna put that out there.
So he wasn't asked to be in the movie, man.
That happens every time. This happens literally every single time. Oh, let me pull that back down because we got to go back into whatchamacallit mode, right, bud? Yeah, that one. Oh, he's not happy. He's not happy, everyone. Yep. Look, I don't care. I don't care if you like Greer or if you don't like Greer, but this is a fact. Every time that there's been some form of actual official disclosure.
No. I'm going to wind that back and take disclosure out.
Okay.
Anytime there's ever been any kind of real progress.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go there.
It's not even, it doesn't always even have to be about disclosure.
Right.
It's progress in general for whatever reason. Yeah. If he isn't not just involved, but the center.
Yeah. It's true.
He has a meltdown.
No, it's true. It's true. And so instead of doing what should be done here, which is say, look, there's some elements to what he's saying that may be true, right? But instead of embracing that and saying, see, there's some of this that might actually validate what I've been saying, he says, no, none of this is true because it doesn't go against, it goes against the narrative that I've pretty much come up with, which isn't what he's come up with at all. It's just an age-old New World Order kind of rehash, reimagining, basically. I mean, it's the same stuff we've heard for years. But, what's the movie?
The movie is Age of Disclosure.
Let me find that.
32 prior government and some current officials.
Oh, yeah.
Got together and basically came forward at one time in a long format film and released their stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's there we go, right here. Oh, there you go. And it was released on November 21st, guys, just so you know. And we were at CryptidCon when it was released, actually. So we were actually we missed disclosure. sort of.
Yeah.
That was the joke we were doing all week. We kind of, whoops, see, there we go. We kind of missed disclosure because we were here, but we didn't, because there's a lot of stuff that were said in this that you folks, I'll tell you this right now. There's probably about 90% of the American public, world public, that is not ready for some of this stuff. But
100%.
The people who have been here with us, you have been literally assimilated to what is coming out at this point.
Yeah.
It's been a validation for a lot of the stuff that we've said and a lot of stuff that we've did. And we're going to look at some of those clips tonight, and we're going to talk about the greater implications of some of the things that were said and not said, because Dan Farah did this, right? He did it for years, and he did it in secret, which is crazy. He did this movie in secret, and we just started hearing about it last year, but he'd been shooting it all this time. And, every time we kept hearing these people saying, oh, there's something coming, this is what they were talking about. This is what they were getting at. Well, Beth, welcome. Hope
you're feeling a little bit better there, Beth.
Oh yeah. And so now we're going to be able to talk a little bit about this stuff. And he went on Joe Rogan and he talked about a whole lot more than what he put in this film. And we're going to touch on that stuff too. But he's been on a few things. We're going to look at a few of those clips tonight, and we are going to discuss what was said and what wasn't said and where this is going, because it really opened up. It didn't really open up. We were already planning to do this, but it put us in a position to where we are definitely going to do the episode that is coming up here very shortly. And we'll get into that toward the end of this. So let's start this thing out. Let's go to media presentation. Is it this one or is it this one? That one? It's that one, right?
Yep, I got it.
Copy that. Ready. All right, here we go. Let's go over to clip number 1 video file. And I'll tell you what, before we hit on him, I wanted to say it was interesting to see, and this is just another small clip, because me and you are going to do a thing on this week. We're going to break this one down too. Chris Mellon came out right after this. This thing was released. And this is just a little bit of a snippet of what Chris had to say about it.
In the new UAP documentary, Age of Disclosure, we learned that the Air Force had a secret program to track UAP in the vicinity of Area 51 and other sensitive military facilities in the 1990s. This report comes from none other than General James Clapper, former director of U.S. Air Force Intelligence and former director of National Intelligence. Does that secret Air Force UAP program continue to this day? Where is the data? What did the Air Force learn? Moreover, why is it that when Congress asked the services for UAP information in their possession in the 2020 Intelligence Authorization Bill, the Air Force denied having any pertinent information other than a handful of very recent innocuous reports submitted after DoD guidance was finally issued in 2020, requiring all military components to report UAP sightings?
These are valid questions, and he asks a whole lot of more valid questions, and you're going to be able to see that. I'm going to put the links up in the comment or in the description of this after the show goes up. Let's see. After that, we've got video file. All right. Let's start this thing off. For those who don't know, this is kind of what was happening. This is Dan Farah being interviewed by, I believe it's on the Vargas Reports on News Nation, and then you'll see it go into a few other things. But anyway, this is kind of what we're going to be talking about and a lot more.
Have this much experience in every level and every branch of government all coming together on camera to say, not only have we retrieved alien spacecraft, we've retrieved alien remains.
Yeah, and keep in mind, these are people that are not aligned at all ideologically or politically, right? But they're aligned on this.
Something that I did not know was that during the second Bush presidency, Bush 2, they actually contemplated, they convened a cabinet meeting and debated and discussed for days about whether or not to finally go public with this program with what they have found and what they have discovered.
So for people that didn't see the documentary yet or watch the podcast with me and Hal Puthoff, what he said was it was him and a bunch of other thought leaders, and they were all brought together with a numerical value for pros and cons related to disclosure. So basically they said to them, we have acquired crafts that are not of this world, and we have biological entities that are not of this world. These are real. We want to know if we disclose to the general public that alien life is real, what would be the negative impacts on our society, on our government, on our religion, on
economy, every element of society.
And they put a numerical value to everything. And overwhelmingly, all the people asked had way more con than pro.
Yeah, they determined it was a bad idea.
Yeah, which is so wild.
Well, that there's this think tank
Band-Aid off
over
kids.
A couple days where a bunch of people got together and decided the fate of humanity.
Now, I don't know if you caught that, what he just said there toward the end, but
they decided people got together for a few days to decide the fate of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and I know they were like, oh well, I wouldn't say the fate of humanity. I think that's what Joe says, but he's not wrong. He's talking about these people decided to push back the greatest revelation, literally, of human history, at least recorded human history. We got somebody else coming in there. Joe, did you see him? It was Marcy.
Yeah, I tagged him in there.
Okay, yeah. Well, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
So Lisa said, "Isn't that the way it always is, though? It is indeed.
You ain't
all
wrong.
The way down to the most finite aspects of our lives.
But you are not wrong.
A council convenes, and decides what is right for everyone." Whether they know about the council's gathering or not.
Mm-hmm. True or not true. It doesn't matter. It's what they decide is true. So, yeah. So apparently it's just like Grush said. Remember when he kept telling, in his first interview a couple years ago, when he broke the whole thing about, there's an 80-year cover-up. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. We're talking a little bit more about that now.
Where's Doomsday Dave? He's off tonight. He wasn't able to make it off night, had a lot of stuff with family and stuff planned. So he's out. He'll be back next week. So, Jeff says that in itself is terrifying. By the way, Jeff, good to see you out there, brother. It was awesome seeing you this past weekend, man. We missed you.
Absolutely.
Oz says now even the Soul Foundation is engaged because one of the sponsors, Soul Foundation is egged because one of the sponsors of their first gathering was Enigma Labs. Oh, ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Report your UAP experience into their database and never see it again, mind you. Mm-hmm. It's financed by Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Peter was the one behind that app.
That's interesting. How about that?
But we can't admit aliens are real. We haven't figured out how to profit off of them yet. Bingo.
Well, now we're getting there. We're getting there. And we're going to touch that too. So folks, go ahead, start throwing your comments over here as we're playing these clips, right? And between clips, we're going to address those. So we'll star them. So we're just going to keep it rolling. But yeah, throw your comments in. This is your discussion. You need to be heard just as well as anyone else. I mean, disclosure affects everybody, not just a small group. And there's more to this than what you're hearing. If they're telling you right now that aliens are real, if they're telling you now that this technology is real, that all these other things are real, think about what they're not telling you at this point. So we're somewhere we haven't been. Contrary to what some of the skeptics may say and want you to believe, we've not been in these waters before. Okay. At least not in modern times. So, let's continue this.
Struck by this line from one of the people you interviewed, without a doubt, there has never been a program before that has been so successfully kept out of the public eye as the Legacy Crash Retrieval Program. What is it?
One of the intelligence officials in the film makes that statement. And, previously the most secretive program was the Manhattan Project, but we found out in hindsight that the Manhattan Project had leaks. Mm-hmm. So when this program was created, they made it even more secretive and put more security measures in place. And those security measures have ruled the day the last 80 years.
Yeah.
So, and they could declassify it up to 25 years, but I've had so much derivative classification training that I found out that the rules for declassification do include the ability to maintain classification up to even 75 years.
So Bass has to maintain that classification for 75 years. Wow.
So if you sincerely can justify that you can't declassify after 25 years, 75 seems to be the maximum.
All right. For decades, they've had these units that go.
I want to point something out real quick, because this is something that, as a sound person, I just recognized as soon as he appeared on the screen. And maybe the normal eyes might not have seen it. Not you, Oz. You might have caught it. but he was wearing 2 lapel mics. Okay? 2 lapel mics plus a lav in his neck on his collar. I guarantee you there was also a shotgun mic in the room. That is 4 separate audio files that were recorded of that conversation for a reason and on purpose, so that way, if one of those files got lost, no worries. We got 3 more. If 3 of them got lost, we still have a dead man that we can use. Yep. You've got that last backup. There are 4 backups of that audio, and I would hate to imagine how many saved files that were created of that conversation right there at that table, just because of I saw all the audio that was setting out and laid out. That whole meeting was heavily recorded for redundancy.
Yeah, it's all double redundancy and triple and quadruple redundancy, actually. They wanted to make sure they got everything that man said in case something happened. That's what that was.
Absolutely. And we're going live again.
Out, and we're not the only ones with these units that are going out to retrieve the stuff.
Yeah.
Russia and China are too. That's the other amazing thing that you reveal in the film, which is that we're in a secret arms race.
Yeah, it's arguably the most shocking of the reveals that there is this high-stakes secret Cold War race to reverse engineer technology of non-human origin that the United States is involved in with adversarial nations like China and Russia.
Oh, big surprise, right? We've heard this over and over and over and over and over and over. And we've also heard that they've actually cracked this at this point. Yeah. Right? So we're just going to keep playing a few things. And we're going to let you guys see if you can kind of figure out what's actually happening here. Okay? What's actually happening here?
That there had been a bunch of people that were working on this stuff the whole time, but they had been handcuffed by all the secrecy, and that this had all been done with defense contractors and lying to Congress. We would look completely incompetent.
I really legitimately think a lot of the people in my film stepped up because they don't want to be left holding the bag and have people saying, why didn't you say something sooner?
Right.
I really think this is
because it's that close.
Cover your butt because it's that close.
Yeah. I think it is that close.
Well, I mean, we are having an invasion next year, so.
Well, hey, you know what? you okay. Okay. So let's not yet. We'll get there. We're going to get there. Trust me. But, yeah, anyway, so there's this little talk in here where they start talking about how, the New York Times helped bring this forward and so forth and so on. But this really helped to demonstrate also how much we've changed, that the old guard is still there, that the ones who want this secret kept are still trying to push back. Right.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So I got that and I cut it into a couple of clips for us and we're going to watch this.
I really give the New York Times a lot of credit because I think publishing in 2017 that piece that they did on the front page was so huge because the New York Times is arguably the most respected newspaper in the world, and for them to address it like it's a real issue, and like these pilots are seeing these things, they're behaving in ways that don't make any sense, with propulsion that we do not understand, and these are real. And I'm like,
however, just literally right before the Age of Disclosure came out, they released this little opinion piece.
Yep.
Remember this? We talked about it last week.
like we mentioned last week, this is the same news publication that broke the 2017 Nimitz case.
Mm-hmm.
And here they are poo-pooing
on Age of Disclosure,
the next big thing.
Yep. Calling you a chump, basically.
I think it's real. I think there's something there.
Yeah, and it's helped us get us where we are now.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think the mainstream media support I'm getting for this film right now, I don't think it would have happened if it wasn't for that.
No,
Times article. Like,
I think the Times article was that burst the membrane and allowed more data to come. It's just more rational discourse about it.
Well, there was discourse. I would hardly call it rational at this point because there's been so much just backfighting and shoving over this, right?
Oh yeah, there's definitely like a tug of war going on here.
Yeah. So what we got? Go ahead, throw some of those comments up there and let's address those. All
right. So we've got Rob Posey said that they said China, Russia, and US are in a race for an energy source. That's going back to the
I see what happened.
There we go. Gets us going back into the the new Cold War, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Rob mentioned above he'd watched it. Says disclosure will be realized by us. The government is not going to disclose anything. See something, tell this community. Absolutely. Don't go to some app and harp it out there because you're never going to see it with any kind of return. Stone Maven said Invasion 2027. I need the t-shirt.
Oh, it'll be, don't worry.
There's Dorp and Cargon on it.
There's going to be one.
Yeah,
there's going to be one. Don't worry. We're making something.
So then Octopus says, okay, so Rogan and anyone on his show talking about this stuff is real shilly. They're just towing the line, keeping it to the allowed narrative. I mean, when it comes to just to the defense of the allowed narrative bit, because I know everybody can feel their own ways about Rogan.
I don't care about Rogan.
Yeah,
I was more interested in Farah than Rogan.
Right. A lot of the people that he has had come forward, they're people who have been doing presentations for years, or people who've been known in the community for being connected. And once you have a clearance, like, it's there forever. It doesn't just like go away. And if you ever talk about any of the things that you saw or did under said clearance, they can come round you up. So, I mean, some of these guys, I understand why they're not just going to whistle blow on the most watched podcast on the planet.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the smartest thing to do. Honestly.
No, it wouldn't. You'd have to be pretty certain that you're allowed to continue forward. And you'll see them, you'll hear them talk sometimes. If you watch the video, you hear them talking to them, they just stop and they're like, rewind that a bit and come back with it.
Anytime you deal with those kind of people, that's what you get. And I'll be honest with you, straight up with you guys. There were people who came to our table, their booth over this past weekend, showed us things, and literally the promise was we were not going to reveal those things publicly. And it's like,
and we're a couple of them were being allowed to show you guys.
Yeah,
but we're not allowed to reveal who they are or where it's at.
No. So that's common in this field. You're going to occasionally run into people who have their excuses and their reasons for that. And those military excuses and reasons, but we'll get into that just in a second. You're going to hear some clips from that. But yeah, it's, who's playing the game? That's the question. It doesn't matter who's really playing the game at this point, because the losers are us at this point, in my opinion. That's just my opinion based on what I've seen. And I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it, really, because I know humans, but I also know the human potential. And I think that's kind of where we're caught in the middle of here. Go ahead. Next comment.
So he's saying, it's Octopus brought up, the big $1 billion deal that went south, by the way. He's no longer in that big Spotify deal. It got nuked. But it's why he has certain people on at certain times to push the narrative that they want. And to be fair to that, this is just coming, like, if I'm looking at that from a show producer standpoint, I'm going to get the hot iron while it's hot instead of hitting it when it's cold. That's just in the world of podcasting. And again, I'm not defending Rogan. This is just in general, podcasting in general.
What's here?
Like podcasting live shows in general.
A great example is just the past couple of weeks shows when we were doing it with the 3i Atlas stuff.
Yeah.
Those are some of the highest rated shows.
Yeah. You hit when it's hot, and you've got to be on time with it. Otherwise the wave doesn't catch, and you don't get it. Now Rogan it doesn't matter. Rogan could go out there and interview a cow pie and still get millions of views on it.
And he probably would.
But for shows, most shows, you've got to hit somebody. If you've got a guy that just released a book, you go get him. If you've got somebody that is fresh off of a hot, release or some kind of a tell-all, you go try to get them, because it's pertinent, it's relevant to the now, and people want to hear it, and you want to be as close to the first as you can.
Yeah. What is it there? I bet all of you that watched it are rounded up. That's hilarious. Nah, they don't care. They got bigger secrets. Now, the folks that are here, I don't know.
We all know we're on a list somewhere, Matt.
Exactly.
Just being here.
Exactly.
Welcome to the list, good sir.
Welcome. It's an okay list. Our agents are pretty nice.
Mars says, my great uncle lived in Antarctica and as a missionary and a scientist for several years. He wouldn't tell a soul what he saw there, just send postcard type pictures. And that was odd to me. No face coverings. In Antarctica, where it's deep freezing, I don't know, makes you wonder what's going on up there. What I know, being somebody who had a trip planned for the circle, anytime you go up there to take pictures, if you don't pull your mask down for the 10 seconds, you look like everybody else, because you're all wearing the same clothes. So it could literally be a lineup of 10 people all wearing the same parka and covered up, and you'd have to know which one in the line you were. So normally what they'll do is they'll go out there, they'll pull down their face cover and pull off their hood and take the picture, and then immediately suit it back up. But like you said, it is supposed to be a UFO hotbed. I wish it would have worked out for me to have gone on that trip. I really wanted to do that.
Well, why? You couldn't tell us if you did. We don't even know if you didn't go. So just shut up. All right. So next, you can't believe him. Sometimes he's just, you have to question everything. All right. So what was the next one? Oh yeah, the cover up. So here's an interesting thing. This happened after a very high level incident was reported, and this is how they do. And we see this all the time. We still see it. We saw people selling tinfoil hats at the show, didn't we, Joe?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's a group selling tinfoil hats.
Yeah. And I think we all know my feelings when it comes to this.
And it's a podcast. It's called Tinfoil Hat. It's a Tinfoil Hat podcast. Yeah.
Sure. It's great. It's funny to
but
make
they're
fun
new
of
into the
stuff.
topic. I'll give them this. They were new last year. They've only been in it for a year, so they've dipped their toes into the shallow end of the pool, and
it's not just them. There's people at some of these shows. We've seen them before. Withville, they were selling tinfoil hats. Mothman Festival, they're selling tinfoil hats. It's just something that they do. They think they're making, they're having fun. But what you're doing is you're this is the narrative. Congratulations, you're playing right into this. So, Joe, take us to presentation mode, please.
You got it.
Jay Stratton told me about an event that happened on the military base that is Top Gun, the Top Gun base, where a craft came down from very high, dropped to above the tarmac in front of the base commander and his number 2. And they documented it with video recording. And this was when Jay was running the UAP task force. And they reached out to him saying they wanted to report this. And Jay went and talked to them in person, and they were going to do these are super senior guys that were going to do an official on the record testimony about what they saw with their own eyes. And Jay told a senior guy in naval intelligence who he thought was on the right side of history. And before these guys could come in and testify, the naval intelligence official who was actually part of the cover-up sent these guys tinfoil hats and told them that's what they'd be wearing the rest of their lives if they spoke up.
Wow.
And the guys reached out to Jay and said, we're not providing the evidence. We're not going to talk about this. Let's pretend it never happened.
That's how they do. And that's what you play into when you do this tinfoil hat stuff. You literally are ridiculing witnesses who have come forward, seen things that they can't explain. And you're saying, you're a liar. Yeah, Kecksburg did have a bunch. You're right. I remember. You're absolutely 100%. And they had like different shapes. I think they were thinking they were Teletubbies or something. I'm not really sure what that was. But, they had like...
Yeah, it's something. I mean, I don't know. People buy them. People want to buy them. Let them buy them.
It's something that we will never do. Let's put it that way. Just for the simple fact of we know where it came from. We know how this originated and what it's for. It's to ridicule witnesses.
Yeah, it is.
And we don't ridicule witnesses. Take us back in there. Here's another more serious thing that they do, apparently.
The access I got when making the film was really at an unprecedented level. Like I got very close with the leadership of the Senate Intelligence Committee and the Senate Armed Services Committee. They were introducing me to people. They were opening doors for me. And some of the people that I met through them were actually involved in recovery programs and were going to do interviews, and then ultimately decided not to, and that they thought it would cost them their lives. 2 people used the same words with me, actually. It was very interesting. 2 people used the words, after careful consideration, I've decided I will be forfeiting my life if I participated on camera in your film.
Yeah. Yeah, that's still happening.
Oz, thank you. No tinfoil hats here, just buying high-end cameras and sensors and sharing it here. Total disclosure here. That's right. I dig it.
Thank you, Oz. Bless you.
Then Octopus says, I can't stand the fact that people just stand down when they're told to when it comes to such important information. It's whack. I get it. I still think it's spineless. Consider me spineless, my friend. I have a family upstairs.
Family. That's how they get you.
I can't talk about it. I mean, it can make me spineless all day long, and I really don't give a damn because I'm protecting my kids upstairs, and there's certain things I'm not going to talk about.
And that's how that's it. That's how they do it. And they know that they've got you. They've got you. It's the game, and they're winning the game. The only way we're not going to have that game is if they really do create some kind of whistleblower protection program, some kind of amnesty program that puts all this into a legal framework that says, look, you're okay. You may have some heinous things that you're going to report, but we've all going to agree that we're going to move on from this point without any repercussions. That's what's going to have to happen.
It's going to have to. And mind you, the stuff that was under my clearance, like it was nothing like what these guys are dealing with. There was a weapons system one time that was really strange, but that's about as bizarre as it got. But the without getting into any kind of details, it just is what it is, which I've kind of alluded to in the past. It's one of those things. There are people out there who have committed literal crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
To go in and retrieve stuff. I kid you not, my computer just dropped your page and the screen went blank. Run. I am on the list.
No, we've had that happen. Go back and watch one of the episodes. That's the reason I will not post a lot of times what this show is about until after this show is gone, because we've literally tested this before. It's weird. I'm not saying that there's something happening. I'm just saying that we've got a lot of time invested in creating this show, and I want to make sure that you guys get to see it. And that time when we had to actually, I kept getting dropped every time we tried to show a clip. I kept getting dropped. Ended up doing the show from my phone.
Yeah.
So go back and watch that. That was a few months back, I think. But
it gets wonky from time to time. That's for sure.
It do that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
And I get it, man. Like, you wouldn't expect us to talk about that stuff, and you wouldn't call me spineless specifically. But some of the stuff, it falls in these same wheelhouses, man. Now, I mean, I know there's some of these guys, especially some of the dudes that are like knocking on the death's door anyway. They're up there, they're in their 70s. Why not spill the beans?
Yep. And that's where that's where some of it's come from.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Hal Puthoff and Joe McMoneagle and all those guys, they're the reasons all that CIA remote viewing stuff got leaked.
On an official level.
Yeah.
Like, semi-official. Let's see what our next clip is. Oh, yeah. So the question being, like, okay, so all this stuff, why, what is this technology, right, Joe? I mean, that's the real thing. Like, and what do they really say about this technology? Well, not a whole lot, but let's read between the lines on this stuff. Take us into presentation mode.
So I want to read this one real quick. I said this community will find the answers. You're right. She scraped the internet. No one is doing what this group. She says what these guys, but nobody's doing what this group of people. The group of this community that we have, nobody's really doing that. You guys have rallied around and get information, plain and simple. And we're just the avenue to release it and get it out into the main sight line.
Yeah. And then we provide, moments of validation from time to time when you guys get to see like some of this stuff in things like these major releases and so forth. Right. I mean, you'll get to see the clip later. We're going to play the clip, of just a little clip from CryptidCon, from our presentation. And you're going to understand some things probably from that clip. All right, here we go.
When people talk about the successful back engineering of these things, what are they saying? Are they saying that they can fly around Earth? Are they saying they can go outside of Earth's atmosphere and go into deep space with these things? Like, what have they said we are currently able to do with these back-engineered crafts that we've supposedly
people that I can't
ourselves?
Attribute the statement to that were very credible sources told me that some of the UAP activity in space specifically is reverse engineered technology.
Okay. Does that mean in space in low Earth orbit, or does that mean traveling through the solar system?
What was implied to me was traveling through the solar system.
Okay, so here's the thing. To a lot of you guys, that's going to be like, that's science fiction talk. But to me and Joe, that's, hey, you remember that time when we first got to see Stanton Friedman and he gave that presentation and he showed the pictures and he talked about being at the, he was at all these programs that he was working with. My computer just dropped your page. It happened 3 times. Yeah, congratulations. Well, Agent John Stone, can you please remove Central Kentucky Bigfoot from your list? They don't care about this stuff. They're more into Bigfoot. So you remember when he said, and he showed us the pictures, he was literally hired to work on these things as a nuclear physicist.
Yeah,
holistic spans. And he said that they would succeed in one project, and all of a sudden that project would go dark and it would be canceled, and then another project would start up with a different name, completely different organization, and they would hire him for that. And it happened 4 or 5 times, something like that.
And there were a couple of times that he had mentioned that there were jobs that he'd get it working, and he knew as soon as it got working, he was going to get fired.
Yep. Yep. And the things he worked on were engines, were the fission engines that he said could literally take us to other solar systems. Those were his words back then. So we're seeing validation, and that's just us. You can imagine these other people are really seeing the validation, and they're like, oh my, there's something going on here. Maybe Rob, put that tinfoil, maybe we should put those little tinfoil hats on our iPads and see if that helps them, because it
might actually give you better reception.
Probably give you better reception, or maybe you'll be able to catch the signals that are coming through. I don't know, but yeah. Soon your PC will ask, have you checked the children lately? Oh my God. You guys. Yeah, we do experience some technical
I'm gonna
issues.
buy one of those Faraday beanies.
Oh my god.
Now, speaking of, seriously, one of the things that we're purchasing next is going to be one of the Faraday bags, because we need it for some study. We needed to put some of the equipment in while we're running some tests to prove that it's not residual signals that we're getting.
Well, I seen Wild
from
Bill
us.
build a cage for Mothman. Maybe he could build us a Faraday.
That's right.
cage.
Yeah, we just got to say, look, you have to build it out of this and copper. And
Anyway,
just don't do it near the hills because it will get stolen.
Yeah, right. So here's the thing. So they're talking about this technology, Joe, and this is the clip that really, this is the one that got me, because this is the one that says to me, there's something really, really, really big that's going on here, and it may fall into some of the stuff that we speculated about before. So I'm going to play this, and we're going to dissect the crap out of this, guys. So get ready. I want you all to pay very, very close attention to this clip. Okay, here we go.
Are these?
Here's another thing someone that same person said to me, by the way.
Yes.
So before I forget, that their belief is that the technology we have would not be pulled out even to stop a world war. It would not; those cards would not be shown until moments before, like, a nuclear war situation. So they wouldn't pull it out to stop like any of the wars we've experienced in the last, since World War II. They wouldn't, regardless of how many.
It has to get to 9.
It has to get to a level where there's no other option.
Wow.
That answer is one of the questions that we had posed a while back, and why my frustration, particularly with the claims that the Nimitz encounter was us using reverse engineered tech. Then why didn't we use that to stop some of the insanity that, folks like all of our veterans who are in the chat?
Yeah. So my question is, if it's serious enough to stop a nuclear war, what was it really made for?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was made to stop a nuclear war. We know humans all too well.
Yep.
We know what they were doing at this point. According to the narrative at this point, this technology was gathered. And it was gathered when? Right after we started really working with nukes, right? When we started blowing up atom bombs in the Bikini Atoll region, the ocean, where they're saying now that some of this stuff may have been. Blows my mind, literally blows my mind. But the assertion is that they knew at some point that these nukes were somehow calling these things in. And we've talked about this before in the past. Lou Elizondo hinted at it. He never directly said it because he couldn't say it back then. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see it. But they were luring them in, and they got to the point to where they could literally just not even have the nukes, but just the mention of it, just the thought, just the intent.
Yeah.
See what I did there? The folks who know what I'm talking about just figured it out. And they probably were like, oh, I just got a cold chill. It's just the intent. Those psionic assets, having those people out there calling these things in, that it was done at some point. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that's not the reason why the deck commander, when the 2004 incident did happen, didn't have that much of a reaction. They're saying, oh, he didn't have a reaction because it was one of ours. No, they knew they were going to be there. That's my thought. USS Nimitz.
They were anticipating it.
It's a nuclear carrier. It's so the thing is, though, it kind of seems like we were blowing stuff up like humans do, and we got something's attention, kind of. That's probably always been here. And the scary part is someone made a call, Joe, to continue this.
Yeah.
Knowing full well that there may be something here that could outgun us at the drop of a hat. but they didn't think they would, or they would never did it. So instead, what they seem to have done is try to lure them in, take their toys, reverse engineer it. And what would you do that for? Well, there's only one reason you do that, and you know that as well as I do.
You want to try to get more or take them out.
Take them out. Or you're preparing for something else.
Yeah.
But either way, it's going to be bigger than a nuclear incident, Joe. The technology is bigger than that.
Yeah, they wouldn't even stop it for a world war. It would have to be the mutually assured destruction type. Like we'd have to get, that's what it seems like. We'd have to be. Yeah.
We're talking about an ID4 type situation.
Or if, that one 1980s flick.
Which one?
War Games. Where they all get launched at the same time.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of anything else fast enough to stop them.
Yeah. So I'm
Something
talking about
be in multiple locations in blinks of an eye.
Yeah, right. And I'm talking about outside of our,
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's probably on the back burner too.
Oh, it is. It's in the pages. It's a threat analysis, right? I mean, it's got to be there.
But just imagine like looking at this on a slightly optimistic lens.
Oh, you're trying to say use it to save humanity?
Use it to stop an all-out nuclear war.
It could be used for that.
Because it's fast enough. If we had 3 or so, we know how fast it moved from point A to point B with Nimitz and their rendezvous. It could systematically just touch each one of them and knock them out of the sky before they go anywhere.
I could do a lot more than that, according to some of the.
Oh yeah, but like what I'm saying though, 17 minutes is all it takes.
Yeah,
and as fast as those things move, you could probably do it in 5.
Oh yeah,
knock them all out of the sky.
Yep. So that's how deep the secret is, though, and that's where people have always wondered. When we were talking, well, a good example is everybody talks about that TR3B thing, right? And we've talked about multiple times where that name came from. Tier 3 is the theory that it was a tier 3 technology, and a tier 3 technology, according to one of those early documents, they said, this device that they had was so secret that if it landed or crashed in another country, literally the option was to turn that area to glass.
Yeah.
It could not survive. There would be no trace. Destroy it at all costs. What kind of secret is so? What secret could be so powerful that you would risk destroying the entire world? Oh boy, this is the stuff that we're going to have to come to terms with. You see, if this is true, these are the bigger things. It's not just about aliens. Like I said, it's not just about spaceships. It's about us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it gets deeper. Take us into presentation mode, lock us down, and let's go again.
Let's do it.
Folks, please continue to comment, put your thoughts, your feelings, your hopes and your fears. Put it all out there. This is a place to talk about it. And we want to hear from you. If you are enjoying the show and you are new, be sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit that 3,000 mark by the end of the year. Well, we're not trying. We're going to do it. Manifestation is a real thing. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So the technology, he talks a little bit about that technology, and let's just go there with it and think about this really quick.
The orb activity, who knows what it is, man? It could be another form of the warping of space-time in a localized area. Like once you do that, time and space is different in that bubble. So that could be a much bigger craft inside of a energy ball that we see. Right. This might be what we see as the orb, right? It might be a transportation device. There might be a being in there. And this is just what we're seeing is what's on the outside of this warping of space-time.
Well, that's another thing that one of the eyewitnesses described that was very weird, was a craft that was small, but then when they got inside of it, it was the size of a football field.
Yeah, so that also goes with the warping of space-time.
Which we heard that previously. That was, basically a TARDIS. We talked about that on the show a few years back.
Yep. And when it was right before, what was right after, there were these discussions about, well, there's some really fantastical things that we have to get through this base stuff first before we get to that.
Yeah.
Well, we're here. And now they're telling us that the fantastical stuff is really just base stuff. So what in the world is really going on? How deep does this go? And what are the repercussions? Let's talk about that warp stuff. He goes on and describes it a little bit more.
What is he saying that they're using? Like, how are they?
He's saying that they're creating an immense amount of energy in this localized area to create the bubble. And there's two prevailing thoughts on how that energy is created. One is they're tapping into so-called zero-point energy, which has only been theorized at this point by humans, right? Or they're using quantum entanglement to pull energy from a far-off source to the local area, the bubble. And that's what they figured out.
And did they have any knowledge of these generators or how they're acquiring this amount of power, or what they're using to, how are they harnessing 0-point energy?
No.
Yeah. Which means we don't quite understand how to make it all work just yet. Thankfully, that's kind of what I'm hearing, at least not that part of it. A little more.
The trees.
Yeah.
She said it didn't disturb the trees; it just went right through them.
Yeah. So that's, look, one of those. If you remember in the film, there's this great scene where Hal Puthoff and Eric Davis were two of the senior scientists involved with the government UAP programs. They break down how they figured out how these craft work and how they are warping space-time in a localized area, and they're basically creating a bubble that the craft operates in, and the bubble separates the craft from the environment around it. The environment becomes irrelevant. So it can move through physical space. Could move from air to space to the water, frictionless. There's no splash. Like, the environment outside the bubble is irrelevant. They're creating their own space-time, essentially. They're warping space-time and creating a bubble around the craft. And when you start to think about how that could be weaponized, it's really terrifying.
And there it is.
Yep, that's what we have talked about for ages.
There it is.
And it goes back, Octopus, your comment right here, that last little bit that he said, it goes right along with it. They really don't care how many of us die. They'll still will not give us the technology that would allow us to rise above what famine and poverty. They do not care about us. Yeah. And it is very likely correct. Yeah. The issue is, if these things, which we think we have recorded on multiple occasions, these warp bubbles. We've talked about the warp bubbles and how we should call them, because we'd seen them mentioned previously in a formal setting, formal way. It was in a paper. But if you look at these thermal videos, that we've recorded, it is one of these situations where we do in fact see these craft moving with a bubble around them. When we're able to zoom in and isolate them, there are dark rings around those hot objects. They have a ring, and it all gives them all the same shape. Humans can't make everything, and we don't try to hit someone with. That's right. Yeah. Don't make anything.
Humans can't make anything that we don't try to hit someone with. It's just the same. Pick up the stick. That's what it is. It's the same thing. It's just a bigger stick.
Yep.
It's a stick this time that we don't really own or understand. They want to weaponize it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so true.
It's a situation where these things are. We've hypothesized what those black rings around the objects are in thermal, and it only makes sense that it is that warping of time space. I mean, they did it, they replicated a warp bubble microscopically in Sweden this past spring, and it cooled the entire room. That lines up with what we're seeing in these craft. That black ring is a cold ring.
Mm-hmm.
The object itself in the middle is hot. Black ring on the outside, ice cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the more terrifying aspect of a lot of what was just said was that that TARDIS effect. You know, if we really think that we can put a gigantic ship down into an energy state, a very small space, or we can just literally shrink anything, you know, and put it into this small space, and then we can open that space up, go inside, and boom, you know, we're in this massive stadium. Well, what else could you put in that?
Yeah.
Weapons delivery. Well, weapons delivery systems just got a whole lot better, didn't they?
Not just that, but you could turn it into a handheld prison.
Yeah. It's exactly what you could do. Yeah. It's very, very, I mean, just, it's terrifying. It's literally absolutely terrifying if you think about what that could be used for. And I think that that's one of the things that we're just kind of ignoring here. And we're saying, oh my God, space aliens, and which we don't know if they're aliens, but something. And, you know, spaceships and UFOs and all that. And it's like, you don't get it. That's not what this is really about. There's a definite bottom end to this that is far more terrifying than just that. I'd love to have it just be about space aliens any day. It's not. But there is something that he does say about the aliens that I thought was really optimistic, and it goes along with what we've said multiple times to take us into presentation mode. We're going to start going into this, and we're going to go right into orbs after this. And you're going to hear some stuff. And when I tell you guys not to follow the orbs, you're going to understand it now. Maybe you still follow them. It doesn't matter.
I know there's been multiple contact events, like straight up, straight up contact events. One of them is revealed in the film, actually, but there are more. There was several people in my film talk about an event that happened at Halleman Air Force Base where two non-human crafts approached the base, one landed, beings walked out. And
now, we've heard of the story before, but we get a little more detail. Two craft approach the base. One lands. The other one didn't land. Tell me why the other one didn't land, Joe.
Well, you've got
an emissary craft coming down, right?
Yeah.
So what's the other one doing, Joe?
The other one's waiting. The other one's watching.
Uh-huh.
It's making sure nothing happens to craft B.
Uh-huh.
If something does, scorched earth.
Yep, there's a contingency plan. And I think that is when they realized, boy, we got to do something. We got to figure this out, because we're not who we think we are. We're not the top dog anymore. And I think that's it. There's more.
Interacted with Air Force officials and CIA officials. And a couple people go on the record talking about that in the film. But there have been other events, I've been told.
How are those beings described?
They were described as tall, slender, humanoid. And the another thing that I heard that gave me chills was that someone involved with a recovery interacted with a non-human being that was dying and heard thoughts in his head that said, "You humans don't know your full potential."
We don't. And you know why we don't know our potential, guys? Anyone want to answer that?
Because there's a council that convenes.
No, you hit it. That's 100%
Yeah.
it right there. We're not allowed to know our full potential because we don't know our full past. We don't know our full origin. We don't know. They kept us in the dark for how many years? How many centuries? They told you you're crazy. They send you tinfoil hats, and you still propagate it. You think it's funny, but you're literally, every time you do it, these are the people you are following unknowingly. Anyway.
So here we go. Oz says I got close to the blue orbs, and so did my dog.
Okay.
What's the over-under on this guy disappearing?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I think he's where he's supposed to be. I do. I think that this, and I think me and Joe, we showed this, right, Joe? And if you watched it, it's almost like, again, it's weird, but watch that and it kind of makes sense. But it literally seems like there's work to do. And that's, there's work to do. And there are certain people who have to do that work. And let's just leave that right there for right now.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah, we got a little bit more to do on this. So I'll take us back to presentation mode. Now we're going to talk about orbs.
I know there's been multiple.
I didn't do that. It just started playing by itself.
If it's down there and we switch to presentation,
it goes to automatically.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right, let me load up our orb discussion. Kids, it's about to get fun. Orbs.
I didn't include this in the film, this section, because I feel like when you get into the stuff happening in people's houses, I think it's a bridge too far for a lot of people, and you got to like set the table with the base facts first, which is what my film does, and then they can open their minds to these other things. But
so that's literally what we've been saying. So the folks who are here it's not new to you, but now you're going to get validation of some of the stuff that we have been saying. So there you go.
What I found really interesting is when I would do these interviews with people and they would all talk about this activity they started having at their houses that in some cases caused medical issues. It was all after they started looking into non-human intelligent life, and their takeaway was that non-human intelligent life was looking into them because they were looking into non-human intelligent life. And they made the analogy of if a Russian spy comes to DC to spy on Congress, our intelligence community spies on the Russian spy. And so that was their outlook. And I thought that was really interesting and almost implies like a human level of thinking, you know?
Or maybe some attempt to make contact.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe an attempt to make contact, Joe. Maybe. Right? Just maybe.
Other things that I didn't include in the film, Joe, that's, I mean, it's bonkers to think about. All of the intelligence officials who actually investigated this for the government, like the people involved in OSAP and ATIP and UAP Task Force, they all started having activity at their homes when they were investigating non-human intelligent life.
Like
and
what kind of activity?
Orbs in their houses, orbs interacting with their family, causing medical issues for family members, family members ending up in the hospital due to orb activity. Like
what issues due to orb activity?
One of the senior intelligence officials that I spoke to, and I'll let him tell his own story when he's ready, but his son got extremely impacted by an orb, black and blue over his whole body, had to go to the hospital, looked like someone took a bat to his chest.
But wait, there's more.
Makes you wonder what he did.
Autoimmune issues. A number of people have died of cancer after being around these things, and that's a whole nother level of accountability. You know, there's people whose medical bills should have been paid for. They shouldn't have been put in those situations. You know, there's families growing up without a dad because dad encountered a UFO on behalf of the U.S. government and died.
Jesus.
So that's a whole
other
side of this.
Them getting cancer from being around the object or being around biologics or both?
The object, because once you understand that these craft are warping space-time in a localized area and creating an immense amount of energy, getting close to it's like getting close to a huge electrical system, or it's bad.
Right. That's the Travis Walton story.
Yeah, it's like being next to a nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Like, no, really. And that's what Travis told me. I got to actually talk to him about that. And that's one of the things he was saying, was when he experienced that, he thought, something completely different. Now he looks at it and he's like, well, they were trying to help me because I think I got too close and it did something to me. It zapped me. That's literally what the man says to this day.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder what else that we don't know about Travis Walton's story now. I'd like to see some of those files at this point, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They're there. I mean, if for no other reason than just to gather the data, they would have did it. because that program was running.
And one of the things we do want to stress, we make jokes about, glowing Joe and whatever. In our research, and again, I think it comes down to the methodology that we use and how we approach things. We don't approach them, obviously, the same way that the government does.
Obviously.
Our levels of radiation that we detect are double to time and a half the background radiation.
Yep.
What we're gathering is that the distance obviously plays a role. The majority of these things, we have a range, that we've kind of discovered just by using cloud bank data and visibility, that we're usually within a safe distance of whatever the main power source is, and it's aware. And I've said this for years. Ron and I were having a conversation in 2020, right after the first time we detected it, because my brain got racked. I was running every possible scenario. And I presented this idea to Ron, and I said, think about it, man. These things can come and go, do what they want, appear, disappear, and do whatever when there's no one around. They can emit insane levels of energy, disperse insane levels of energy in the forest. Who cares if a few trees die? Who cares if an ant mound gets nuked?
Yeah.
They're not affecting the main massive large biologics. Right?
What?
I know it's dark and 25 degrees, but you guys are freaking me out. So I'm going to go outside and paint the house. Oh, man.
Oh, God. Anyway.
These things seem to be playing by some sort of a playbook.
Yeah.
That they do not engage under certain parameters for obvious reasons, because they know that the side effects that take place on our biologic nature, that it does cause cancer. But if we go up and we touch the thing, if we provoke it, if we go at it trying to damage it, retrieve it, take it in.
Provoke is the word I would use.
Yeah, if we provoke it, and then we get Zach Baggins by the alien instead of it being a ghost. Like, well, for real though.
Yeah.
Like what is it?
I mean, I think you hit it. What's that, bud?
I said it does seem to have a protocol.
It does. And, or a purpose. Like you said, I'd like to know what they were doing to elicit those responses. Also, I want you to remember, guys, what they're saying, who this occurred to, who these hitchhiker effects, all these negative things happened to. According to what they were just said, those were people who were involved in the Defense Intelligence Agency in some way. What were they doing, Joe? What were they trying to do?
Reverse engineering these craft, and they allegedly had contact with the biologics, and God knows what kind of contact that was.
They were trying to weaponize it.
Yeah.
They know your intent.
What
take his presentation mode before you say it.
Okay. There we go.
Thank you.
There was a guy that I interviewed at Skinwalker Ranch who lived outside of the ranch who had an orb experience that seemed pretty credible. And this guy was the most. Just a regular guy with a regular job. He said that he's had a few weird sightings, but the weirdest one was one day in his home, this orb that was like larger than a softball, he said, but it came flying into his house and was in the living room with him, and it was interacting with him. And then it flew down the hallway and flew right through the walls. and disappeared. But he said it interacted with him.
Yeah.
Like it was in front of him, like letting him know that it's there.
Almost some people say almost in a playful way.
I heard Joe say those exact words before.
Several times.
Multiple times. In fact, all of our interactions out there were very one-on-one. They were very playful. They were teaching. That's what I looked at it as. It was like they would show us, oh, you think you saw? Oh, let me show you a trick. Like they would always one up. Like you ain't seen nothing yet. And the more we come back, they're like, oh, I'll show you more. And it happens. And it happened right up until that last part, with the weird transmission. You're going to see all that in Strange Realities, but I'm still trying to scratch my head with that. And I was talking to Maria today about this, and I said, these people had all these bad things happen to them. And, they were working with the Defense Intelligence Agency. They were trying to weaponize this stuff. And, they don't seem that way to us. And her response was, you're not trying to do things like this, and maybe they know you. And that's a good point, because if you really think about it, I wonder how many of those people were just, like you said, Joe, poking. They weren't invited. They were just poking.
Right. And it's, I don't know, there's
a lot.
There's a lot, and there's the hitchhiker effect stuff, like somebody said above. I think it was Central, or not Central. It was Stone Maven.
Okay,
brought up the hitchhiker effect.
Yeah.
There's weird stuff that happens. There's weird, bizarre things that take place at your home.
Yep.
Jen, like you said above, intent is important.
Yep.
And then Octopus says positivity is a big part of the phenomena, intent and its effect upon us. I agree. But there's also, regardless of the playful nature, there's a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
There's things that have happened. And without getting into them too deep here, there's things that have happened.
Yeah.
And don't have the answers for all of it, or even was it the same
right
things that we were interacting with, and it just so happened to be around the same time frames, like there, causation and correlation, that whole thing. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens. I mean, like I said, one day we might actually delve into some of that stuff, but honestly, I don't want to put that out there to contaminate things with people.
That's my thing. Like, there's,
once we figure out how to word it, maybe we'll sit in front of a camera and talk about it, or we might just put it in a book. I don't know yet how it's going to go down, but let's just say there were things, and let's leave it right there for right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't say that was 100% this or that either. So, but the hitchhiker effect is real. I will say that. I will absolutely say that. Yes, I did see orbs in the house when we were doing this stuff. Yes, you did see ghost cats. Yes, we have seen things like that. And that's where we are for right now. But there's more important things, I think, than that. That may just be another form of weird validation of some sort. I don't even know. But yeah, there's definitely weird effects. And
yeah, there really are.
There's weird effects. But they also go into some other things in here that, again, familiar grounds. They go into remote viewing, and which is, I would love to hear this. He had a 3-hour conversation with someone on the inside of the Stargate program that he didn't do anything with.
Octopus says we should take a road trip and draw an enormous pentagram across the United States. Draw the sigils at the 5 points.
Oh my Lord. That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
All right, taking us back to media mode.
Presentation.
There was a guy that I interviewed at Skinwalker Ranch.
That's not it. Hang on. I got it right here.
Do you think that is an aspect of human consciousness that we used to be able to do?
He's talking about remote viewing, by the way.
I do.
And that we've lost it somehow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's just things we've evolved out of and things we've evolved into. And I think that's,
is that what they think as well?
Yeah. Someone very involved in that topic for the government now told me the analogy they would make is it's like if you saw a basketball on the ground, anybody can pick the basketball up. If there's a hoop there, they can throw it at it, right?
Right.
If you sat back and watched a line of 100 people do it, some would look like clowns, some would be like, oh, this guy has sign of potential, and then one out of every however many, like 1,000 whatever, would be a Michael Jordan who's just like boom, he's got this instinct. So everyone can do it. Everyone can pick up the ball and throw it at the hoop, and some people have a natural instinct to do it better, and that's what they were trying to identify, and that's what they do try to identify.
And the weird one is that people who have had encounters.
Yeah, so that to me is like
it breaks through some barrier that you have in your consciousness. When they communicate with you, all of a sudden now you have this wall that has been downed that allows you to have access to this forgotten aspect of human consciousness.
Or it somehow heightens it,
Yeah.
So the biological effects are real. So we don't, we know about the bad ones like cancer, but maybe one of the other ones is it heightens this ability somehow.
Or awakens it, right? I mean, we don't know. So this takes us into more interesting aspects of this that I wish they would really have delved into. And this sets up the next podcast that we're actually going to do, Joe. So back to presentation mode, please.
Do you think that is... Have you ever taken any time into consideration the possibility that human beings were a product of genetic engineering?
I mean, it's kind of impossible to go down this rabbit hole and not have the thought of are we just all is this a big experiment?
Right.
And one day the experiment will end.
Or not even just an experiment, but an aiding in a process.
Yeah.
Like they recognize a process where there's bipedal hominids of various intelligence, and they accentuate that.
Yeah.
And probably multiple different attempts.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely thought about it, and it would explain a lot. There's all these missing gaps in our history.
Have you ever?
Yeah, well, there's another one. Hang on, because he goes right where he should with this line of questioning, I think, anyway. And that would be this one.
It's also the weirdness of the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
The Book of Enoch is essentially describing watchers who come down from the sky and mate with women.
Yeah.
Well, if you told that story for 1,000 years, and the real story was they came down, they got a hold of human babies and human mothers and introduced genetics that were alien into these children, that would be like they mated with women.
Yeah.
It would be kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And created... Well, they talk about the Nephilim giants who destroyed everything, but that's kind of us.
Well, the other thing that makes me think of is a number of the people who have seen crafts, and it's Jay Stratton and Lou Elizondo say it in the film, that the craft at Roswell had hieroglyphics on it. Some kind of ancient writing. And they actually, I didn't put it in the film, but they talked about how when they learned that to be a fact, they spent a ton of time researching ancient texts and trying to find a match, and they couldn't find it, and the closest thing they could find was some old biblical text, but whose hieroglyphics were these? What was that from?
Joe?
Well, it's not the only craft that was rumored to have had some form of strange hieroglyphs on it.
No, it wasn't. And this is one of the more, honestly, one of the more secret aspects of the phenomena is that writing, because we heard about it at Roswell, the Islands at Roswell, right? We heard about it at Kecksburg. We heard about it at Rendlesham Forest. We heard about, the weird symbol on the craft at Socorro, New Mexico. There's been these symbologies for ages. We know that there are individuals who have seen these things. They've all written these symbols down, these contactees, these abductees, and they've shared them amongst themselves. And they're they're amazing each other because it's a symbol that only they recognize. Yeah, this is an interesting aspect of this whole phenomena. What does that mean? What could that mean? Not what does it mean, because we don't know, but what could that mean?
I mean, it goes back to that consciousness aspect where people will see these things and it brings back, a core memory, or they know it from somewhere, and it could be potentially from, past experiences with entities.
Yeah.
Yes, this guy Dan is still alive. He's still with everybody. He's still out there doing stuff. This was actually Joe Rogan's, I think, most recent episode, wasn't it?
Was. Before
this came on Saturday, last Saturday.
Yeah, last Saturday. He says in here that he's actually got enough material for another one, and he may in the future include some of those more stranger aspects. And I suspect that is exactly what will happen.
Octopus says what's messed up is that it's like it's their fault, implying that, these other entities, that it's their fault we're this way.
Well, maybe it's not just a single they, and that's the problem.
Like if we're being controlled, modified genetically, and still blamed for how we act, and they're like, how primitive, like, bro, you're the ones literally making us this way.
No, you're just assuming that there's only, and I did this too. You're just assuming that there's only one. And there may only be one here, right? That actually did that we may be the literal offsprings of, but there may be another aspect of this or race or whatever that has a completely different plan and doesn't want us to succeed.
Well, Rob, congratulations. I just beat colorectal cancer. Now you guys got me wondering if them there aliens pulled a Cartman on me. Man, that's a strong callback. That's South Park episode 1, the pilot episode.
It was. That's right.
That's a good callback.
I remember that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so, there's
congratulations, man.
Yeah, big time. Seriously. Some of the, those are the harder questions, and he's not wrong. That missing section, that hidden part of our history, the whole talk about what he was saying there, the Nephilim, right?
Again, we're going to take this back to another council that met.
Yeah, I think we need to go full circle, right?
1,000 years ago, that decided what was and wasn't going to be included.
Something about Nicaea, I believe. Right?
Yep, the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah,
and there was another council right then there decided the fate of the faith. And then there was also a council that did the similar for the Islam faith, the faith of Islam. There was another council of monks that did the same thing for Buddhism and Hinduism. These groups of people get together and decide, these are the teachings we're going to use. These are the teachings we're going to exclude.
I mean, they burnt the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah.
They destroyed the codices of the Mayans. Why? And we're this close to disclosure. This worries me personally, because how far will you go to keep that secret?
Yeah.
It just makes me wonder, man, especially if you consider the fact that, the presidents have all said, yeah, we were going to release this, but then we have this meeting, and every single time these people come in and tell us, well, basically, no, it's a bad idea. Well, why is it a bad idea?
Well, Ron, joke's on you. We're getting close to disclosure, and this over here on either side isn't normal snow. It's called fallout.
Yeah, right.
That's how far they'll go to keep this secret.
No, you're not wrong. That's the scary part. So either A, we are going to get disclosure, or we're just going to start this whole thing over again. Let's just hope that I'm wrong about that. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because there are two sides here, and they are definitely pushing. They are definitely pushing. So my question would be, should we embrace this technology at this point in our future? Are we capable of yielding that kind of technology?
If we are capable of it, like, the question is how capable
of wielding it. Sorry, I said yielding. Of course we're capable of yielding it. We've done it before. But are we capable of wielding that, like, in a good, capable, and
like, how capable are we?
Responsible way.
Right. Like, can we just, are we turning it on and taking it for a joyride, or are we actually like controlling, or can we hit full potentiality here?
Yeah. Because we do have the ability here, apparently, if we turn this around, if we turned it around and used it for good. Fantasize with me, people. Humanity uses this technology for good. Can you imagine what that would look like?
Yeah.
There's no more war. There's no more need for it because there's no resource dwindlings. There's no more food shortages. There's no more anything. It's just what you want, you got.
Are we capable of responsibly wielding this technology? Yes, but only until one of us doesn't.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. So we have to understand that the only way that we could do this, literally, is to be together as one massive species, not as one religion, not as one belief, but as one united people, humans, or whatever we are, wherever we come from. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. The point is we're here now, and we need to start freaking taking care of each other. That's what matters. The division's got to stop, because that's why we are where we are. That's why our history is where it's at.
Says, yes, sorry, I wish it was different, but we just can't do this as we are now.
No.
And then Uvaru says humans are capable of it. It would just auto make a weapon for money, because that's just where the brain is wired at the moment.
Now you're understanding. I'm glad you're all on this.
Yeah.
So you are playing the part of the Galactic Federation right now, by the way. I just wanted to let you all know, everyone who's, participating here, who is coming up with those answers, you're playing the part of the Galactic Federation. You're playing the part of something much higher than us. And they're trying to determine, are they ready for this? And they may want us to be. They may be trying to get us to that level. But at this point, I think the answer is no.
Yeah.
I'd like to say yes. I'd love to say yes.
Honestly, the only way I think that it would be able to say a 100% positive yes without having major questions it's going to take some serious hand holding.
And it's going to take amnesty.
Yeah.
And it's going to take.
Oh no, this goes beyond the amnesty.
Oh, it's way beyond
hand holding, from the sense of like these things, whatever they are.
Oh, leading, you mean?
Are going to have to come in and not just kind of lead, but like you said, teach, like everybody, like it's hand holding. Like, look, we're going to show up. You're going to freak the F out. But then once that party's over, we've got some stuff to show you. We're going to show you how to use it the right way. We're going to show you how to not do it.
Yeah.
And then, we'll talk about inviting you up to the party.
No. And that's, to me, is the hopeful path.
It is, like, that's very optimistic. And for me, trying to be optimistic about this, that's
hard.
Yeah.
Because you see, you're with it though, Joey. This is the hard reality of this. And that's why I want to do this show, because everybody's, they haven't told us anything we don't already know. It's aliens, big deal. We already know about that. It's bigger. It's so much bigger. The realization that, that's real could literally spell the end of humanity if it's not done right. And I don't think anyone's really thinking about that at all. And you have to. It goes way beyond it disrupting, like they sit around and said, this goes way beyond, the disruption of religion and all that. That has little to do with it. And the economics, has little to do with it.
In the grand scheme of things, it is a drop of water in the ocean.
It really is, because look, man, they just said they exist and no one really cares. That's how it should go. But once we really start getting into the deeper end of the pool, and we have to accept the fact that they've maybe have meddled in, human history.
Yeah.
We have to ask why, how they have that right, because they've told abductees over the years, we have that right. That's all that they'll say, right? Well, what gave you that right? Well, maybe you're not ready for the answer for that. And maybe you are, but it's a complicated situation.
Really
and
is.
it's way bigger than, like I said, just UFOs and, aliens. It's so much more different.
Jen says this little group here manifested blue orbs live. What could we do with an even bigger group that wanted things to change for the better?
Well, that's the whole point. And that's why, we try to be optimistic. We really do. And sometimes the reality is not pretty sometimes. That's a fact. And we have to deal with it. And I don't think it should necessarily get us down. We can affect reality. We can change reality. And there's a reason that some of these things, in my opinion, have been coming around all this time. We talked about it before. We even talked about it on the show. I think we've said it multiple times. They're not interested in making this alliance with any nation. That's not their thing.
No.
They're making contact with people like you. They're making contact with people like me.
In their backyards.
In the backyards.
It's not in offices. It's not with subcommittees and intelligence divisions. It's coming down right now. There is a group of people, and you've got the bad part about this is you've got certain groups who are going to turn it into a wackadoodle festival.
Yep. It's so dangerous to say, to talk about this, because you do sound that way, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. And it is to do what we're doing. We are the black sheep. We're not out here. We're not trying to tell you to go out there and chase the golden ones. We're not out here saying, hey, look, here comes the here they come, and point out a satellite and say it's one of them as it streaks across the sky. We're out here and we're telling you guys to think. Go and look for yourself. Look at the data. Be influenced only by the data. There is something happening. Go see what it is.
Yeah. Follow the patterns.
Yeah.
Those are the same patterns that have always been there. I mean,
I'm pretty sure you're glowing hot pink sheep at this point. It could be the case.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think this is we're going to continue to have these kinds of conversations. If this is what interests you, then please, by all means, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are hitting that notification, because we're going to drop stuff. We're going to be dropping stuff a lot, actually, soon. And, Strange Realities does have that stuff in it. We've talked about this multiple times. It will be 100% free. And by free, I mean, there are just going to be ads, but
yeah, there'll be ads, but you're not going to have to. You're not going to have to
pay
put
for
in a subscription or
no.
jump a hurdle over a paywall to go view it.
No, because that is disclosure, and that's our part in it. And I think that we all play a part in disclosure. Our part is going to be this, and where it leads, I can't say, but I can tell you this. I saw a glimpse of it this past weekend.
Yeah.
I saw a glimpse of it. All those people who came to that table and told their stories freely. Those people who knew that they weren't going to be judged.
They sought us out on purpose.
They did.
They knew that they're like, oh yeah, we've talked to you guys a few years ago, and we're comfortable enough to tell you now.
They did,
or things of that nature. Yeah,
it was wild.
They sought us out over all the other people that were there because we're doing it for real.
Skinwalker Ranch was right beside us.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. But. And by the way, I do think those guys are legit. Just gonna
throw that out there.
But dude, I don't know. Things have changed. Things are shifting. And, you know, it was Reverend Carter. He's the one who told us, you know, that's where you're supposed to be. So I think he's right. I think he called this, and here we are. Here we are. You know, we're not going to be, you know, leading some cult or anything, but we're going to listen to you, and we're going to tell you when there's something significant that's taken place, and you need to listen to it, but you need to do it on your own. You don't need to listen to everything that we tell you. You need to just put it on the table, because the pieces are there now. You figure out where they fit in your life. You know, again, positive is the key, in my opinion. And I think we're doing some good things, man. I think we're doing some really good things, and we haven't even hit it yet. But
and with the help of this community, we are driving forward into uncharted territory, because this stuff is now, it's no longer something that's taboo or hidden. We're going out there and we're talking about and exposing reality and how strange it is.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And presenting it in a way that is digestible and makes sense to the average person.
Yep. And, you know, and sometimes over here, it won't be this serious for you new people. It's usually not. There's usually a lot of fun that's taking place. And this time we had to have this conversation. We had to have this sit down and talk about conversation. I didn't really know how to do it. And cutting those clips up just took forever, but I knew which ones to use. I just didn't know how to get it right. And it all came together, and I knew the rest would just take care of itself. And you guys didn't disappoint. Joe, take his presentation, but I'm going to play that one little clip like I promised these guys from CryptidCon, and let them see how not alone they are in all of this, because this was to me, this was pretty powerful. Let me find it. Where did I put it? Anyway, let me look for that. Joe, talk to people for me while I do this.
All right. So Tony said he talked to a guy today that had talked to a guy yesterday, had 2 Bigfoot encounters in one day, one day, one night out in Boaz and Goose Creek. It's here in West Virginia. Stone Maven says it's stunning that this show isn't huge. It is to us, but it's not at the same time. Like, we know why it's not. We know exactly why we haven't exploded over the years, and we've been around now for 6 years, and it's not just blown up. We know why. We get it, and we're okay with it, and we're not changing how we do it.
Yeah. Why don't you hit on one of those things that we're not going to be doing, Joe? It seems like a pretty prime time, because, and we're not slighting anyone, but there's a lot of folks out there who are using technology the way they probably shouldn't be, right?
There's two big things that we don't do. We don't overhype things. We do not sensationalize stuff beyond what it should be. And we don't play with AI. AI is a great tool. The only way that you will ever see us utilize AI is to chart data. That's it. Chart data, run the data through the AI systems and say, hey, can you make a graph? Can you make a chart? Because it saves us hours of time of going into an Excel spreadsheet and doing it ourselves. So we'll cut some corners there, but you'll never see us use it for a voiceover. You'll never see it use it for B-roll. You will not see us be using it to just create content in general, because we'll go cut our own B-roll. If we're not cutting our own B-roll, we've purchased licensed actual footage to use.
We do that. That's true.
And that is something that we do.
Okay, let me go check this.
Using it to make soulless music.
I'll be right back.
Go for it. We won't be using AI to make soulless and lifeless music, because, well, we can do that ourselves too. Or we'll pay for other people who are musicians to be able to create a track for us that we can use and give us the rights to do it. But for the most part, we'll just make it ourselves because Ron, myself, Dave, we're all musicians, and we've got a long history of being able to do that stuff. So yeah, that is that's it, man. That's one thing you won't be seeing us do. And there's a lot of people who are riding that AI gravy train right now, and they're making fully dubbed content that is soulless and lifeless, and it's just monotone, and it's really annoying. I get it. Some folks, they might just enjoy digesting content, and it's a great, easy way to do it, especially if you're someone who can't articulate very well on a camera or have minimal communication skills beyond like interpersonal. It might be difficult to find music. Music can be expensive sometimes if you don't know friends who will let you use their own stuff, or you're incapable of making your own. And it's also difficult to get your own B-roll. So I understand there are hurdles that some of these people do face.
Yeah, B-roll is not, it's not cheap.
No,
it's not cheap.
This table is big enough for anybody to come and sit and eat.
Yeah, and I think that the problem with this was we had a lot of people trying to post that kind of content to our group, and the issue is that it wasn't that a little bit of it was AI. All of it was AI. If you have AI, maybe even help you write a script. Read it yourself. Go on camera, read it yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what it comes down to. There has to be a human factor here. We're going to lose what it means to be human pretty darn soon, guys. So we just can't. We can't do that.
What's going on? Hellbent Holler is
Hellbent
in the
who?
house.
Hellbent what?
What is up? What is up?
I'll tell you what's up.
Good seeing you guys.
Ron has lost the clip again. That's what's up.
That's what I figured was going on.
Oh, be quiet. It happens. But we're going to release this thing regardless. Like I said, I want to cut it up and actually, edit it out, put it out there, and let you guys see it. I see the JPEGs from it, but I don't see the, I don't see it, which is very strange because it was rendered. So,
oh, it's Jesse. Jesse fired Joe.
Oh my God.
Joe's Jesse. On the clock, most likely. Jesse, it's good to see you out there. Hope you guys had a decent Thanksgiving and enjoying this nice cool air that is blowing down y'all's way.
How cool is it down that way?
Jesse, I'm sure can fill us in on that. I know that a friend of mine was he's up there in northern North Carolina, was saying that they were up in the 40s.
Okay. I think we're going to hit the 30s tonight.
It's 27 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, we're supposed to. Yeah,
I'm in the 20s here, but I'm on the mountain.
There you go. I mean,
Jesse said 39 degrees.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Hellbit Joe, you didn't fire me. I quit.
Oh my God. You two, for real.
Oh man.
That's hilarious. Take us back to normal mode. I lost it. I can't find it. It's there. Oh, wait. I think I found it. Hang on. Oh, I'm so smart. I didn't render it. Hang on. Here we go. It's rendering now.
He said, Joe's talking to me. He said, I had the weirdest dream that you were in. Oh, do tell.
Oh, geez.
It's hard to tell where this one's going, Joe.
All right, we're going to let that run right there, and I'll come back and check it. You guys continue on.
Ada says it's 20 degrees outside over in nice high altitudes of Kingwood area.
Yeah, that's too cold. I don't like this cold stuff.
Yeah, it's 27 degrees out right now.
I think you guys know I don't like this cold stuff. It's just, that's in my contract. I don't work when it's cold.
It's true.
It is. It really is true. It absolutely is true. I've told people that before. I'm like, you know what? Nope. What you say?
Jess says you were certainly hogtied in it.
Nah.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, my Lord. Man. That is too funny.
Oh, North Texas is expecting 27. That's what it is here right now. I'm at 27 right now. He's expecting that tomorrow night. Jeez.
Man. I'm not fans of it, guys. I'm not fans of it.
All right. You ready for me to switch us over?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just letting it run. It's doing this thing over there. It's where we're processing on top of all this. So it's going slow. But yeah, anyway. And if it doesn't finish, like I said, I'll make sure that we get this out there. I want to cut this for everybody. It's trying to render audio right now. For whatever reason, it takes it a while to do that. I don't know why. But I hope that's the right clip. I think it is. It says CryptidCon clip. Yeah, I must have just not rendered it right before the show. I had it up there and edited it, but I did not render it. So go me. It's almost there though. Anyway, folks, what was your takeaway for tonight while this thing's doing its little dance over here? What was your main takeaway for tonight? Did you enjoy the show? Please let us know. And after the show's over, please go to the comment section and comment there as well. That really helps push it out, gets the algorithm fired up and puts this thing out in front of more people. It was an off night, of course. So it was kind of cool to actually see this many people show up here.
Yeah.
Really wasn't expecting it. And, you know, that's amazing. Thank you so much. But next week, we'll be back to Thursday. And we'll have some halls decked a little bit around here. As you see, we've started to get into the mood. 9 of 14. Come on. You can do better than that. Okay. Anyway, what do we got, people?
Oh, we got... I'm more concerned about how many different things have messed up our genetics now, Ron. That's what
well,
saying.
I would think more. Think about the positive things, though.
Central Kentucky Bigfoot found out he's on a list.
Okay, see,
he's being watched now.
See, we learned some stuff tonight, kids. So awesome.
Stone Maven loved it.
Thank you.
Hellbent Holler says we're all trapped inside freezing, staying in warm with the Wild and Weird boys. Yep,
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're here because we're going to do a thing. Joe, can you pop up the legend, the guide?
Oh yeah. Oh, we're doing the game.
Yeah, sure. Might as well.
Dinner cards.
Sure. I saw somebody.
Yeah, they were throwing some signs up earlier.
Yeah, we've also got to get those done soon for everybody. I've got most of the art done, and it's you're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. Yeah, it's one of those kind of situations. All right, kids. What you see before you is the old Zener card test. That's not any kind of evil thing. That's not some kind of weird demonic practices, Tony. This is a standard psychic test, and we are not going to do the full thing because that would require me to run this test 25 times per person, and we just don't have that much time. So I think the aliens will be here first. So what we're going to do is you're literally going to look at that thing, all those little cards there, right? That's what this is. So there's 5 of each of those. Your job is to pick which one this is. And my best practice for this is just to take a few good deep breaths, nice and in and out slow, and then snap your fingers or give yourself a visual cue, some kind of cue, and say, I'm going to know what that is. And that card is a right there, and that first thing comes into your head, that's what it is. And you don't second guess it. You just go with it. This is a fun little thing we like to do. And you will notice that people call the squiggly lines bacon. I think that JB Ryan would probably agree. It looks like bacon. Let me know when we are at the number, sir. Yep. I'm watching this thing still render back here. It's almost done.
Oh, look at you. That's a big deal. I enjoyed the show tonight. I put off watching episode 4 of Stranger Things. for this.
Are you serious? That's, man, we'll probably not ever get anything as good as that. I'm just saying. That's like a 5-star right there. 5-star review. What? Joe. Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. There he is. This is sorcery. If it were sorcery, I would be transmuting some gold or something over here. Trust me. It's definitely not sorcery.
We got 16 of the 34. So we got half the crowd there.
You guys good?
Yeah, we got half of them.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Right now.
Here we go. I'm going to say square, but that's just me. All right, here we go. Ready?
Square. The squares have it. We got Brenda. We got Brenda and you and Stone. Octopus. Lisa. That was a good run. Good run.
So let's pop that back over there. By the way, if you get 5 of these, I hear there's a really special program that may contact you.
Right?
Yeah. All right. So again, let's do the thing. Take a few good deep breaths in and out. Just relax yourself. Give yourself that cue. I'm going to know what it is. That's going to be a, got mine. What do you got?
I'm going with a star.
Mm-hmm. The question is, did I put that in your head?
Yeah, because you said it first. You said you had it first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we also have the clip rendered.
Nice.
Yep.
My failure in this challenge explains my insurmountable gambling debt. That's great. That is hilarious.
Oh, that's great. Winner right there. Man. That's a winner, Jess.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. We got 18 this time.
So essentially what's happening right here, when you do that, guys, that first little snap, that image you see in your head, basically it's associative remote viewing. That's what you're doing. So I'm not kidding you. You know, might get a knock at the door if you get a few of these right in a row. So anyway, we ready, Joe?
Let's do it.
We say star. Here we go. Oh,
square
and we're
again.
We don't have to worry about the knock at the door. Who does?
Double squares. We got, let's see. I think the previous square threw everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody got it.
Yeah. Because see, that's the thing about this. Oh, completely random, right? So it can be any of those and any order. I mean, technically that could be a square as well, you know, but it's not. It's probably bacon. Anyway,
there he goes.
So let's play that clip.
What's going on, Linda? All right, here we're going to fire up the clip. I'm going to get us switched over here and let you guys take a look.
This is basically, yeah, there you go. Good. This is basically just a good validation point of, you know, of not being alone, I think. All right, rendered. So let me find it here real quick. All right. Use is right here. I got it. It's right here. Here we go.
Found out throughout the years of doing these things is that everybody's got a story, right? Everybody's seen something, but most people are afraid to tell those stories. So just raise up your hand on this, okay? We're not going to hold you down to it. The government's not here watching you. How many of you have actually seen a UFO, or what you think was a UFO? Okay, good.
Keep your hands up.
Keep your hands up, okay? Now, how many of you had a cryptid encounter? If you had that, raise your other hand. Okay, so I do see some doubles.
Okay.
That's what we wanted to see. So how many have had the paranormal events? See, the hands stay up, right?
So again, you're not alone. You've never been alone.
Good one.
Yeah, right. So no, for real. I'd still, for anyone who was here, big thanks to Kentucky for letting us come over there. CryptidCon, Lee, you folks letting us come in there and kind of, oh wow, look at that! It made the lights look purple up above us. That looks awesome. I don't remember the lights being there. That's weird.
Yeah, the lights were there originally. They're Christmas lights.
Looks good. Looks good. Anyway, I'll make them blink next week for you. But no, seriously, thanks for letting us come out there and talk to all those folks and present that data. And I think they really enjoyed it. So we're going to work on trying to get that out there for you guys. We'll have an episode up here because we usually don't release our presentations ever. So what we're going to do is do this one because it's part of disclosure, and that'd be what we do. It's our job.
Tony says you're never alone. It's just you and the Hat Man.
Oh man. Oh, that's bad, Tony. That's bad, brother.
Hey, he said, thanks, Ron and Joe. I think you both have strong spine.
Oh my God.
Oh man. We love you, Octopus.
Absolutely. Look, guys, here's the thing. This is how discourse works. You don't have to agree with everything we say. None of us have to agree on anything, right? All we have to really agree on is sitting down at the table and, talking. And at the end of the night saying, that was a good discussion, or, maybe we can get back at that. And maybe I'll think at that, but we're always going to have that drink. You know what I mean? That's how it works.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's margarita, just to let you know.
I call the Hat Man Bennett or Bob. It's even funnier when you say it out loud. Oh, man.
Bob. Okay.
You guys are great. Appreciate you all for coming out, everybody tonight that spent the evening with us. Those of you who made your contributions here to us, to the show, to help us get out there and keep going. We do have some stuff coming up. We're going to be showing you guys some of the new hardware we're getting very, very soon. And then we're going to be using it out there on Strange Realities. Also, remember, next Thursday, we are going to be giving away one of the Cagatillos. You definitely want one of these bad boys.
Now you're going to have to explain that to them, what that is. You caca.
The Cagatillo is the poop log.
That's exactly what it is, folks. It's the time for the poop log. All you
That's
folks,
right.
We're talking about the log. That's what it is. It's the one and only Yuletime poop log, the wild and weird poop log. And it's coming your way.
It is. You guys will have your chance to get one next Thursday. And we'll ship that bad boy out to you. And you got to be in the chat. That's the thing. You got to be in the chat. We're going to do it in the final half hour of the show. And thanks, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys a lot. Hopefully we can get linked up at some point. Then we've got, let's see, next week's show we've got coming up. We're going to be doing the Lakatsky book.
Yeah, that's right.
About that with you guys. We've also got a show about the history, the actual canonical type history of Nephilim coming up here in the near future. And then you never know. We've got the holiday shows coming up. It's hard to tell who's going to drop in.
I know who's supposed to drop
during
in
the month of December
next week for our very first show.
Yeah.
Mr. Gordon himself is supposed to show up, and we're big deals, guys. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's an event that's taking place in Kecksburg.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on the anniversary, and they're doing a pretty cool thing there. We're actually invited, but we can't go. But we are doing some things for it.
Yep.
So
stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. Hopefully we can show that off next week. That would be really cool. But anyway, stay tuned. Really cool stuff is about to happen. And happen here anyway. I don't know about there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. We got some fun stuff planned.
We got a warp bubble here, so it's independent of what happens outside the warp bubble.
Exactly. The environment is of no concern.
Is absolutely of no concern.
Hang tight and stay wild and weird. And remember, apparently, the Hat Man's name is Benadryl Bob.
Who would have known?
Stay wild and weird, everybody.
I didn't know that.